Alright, hey guys, Quinn here, Tactical and Practical back. As promised, I went out to the range and shot a bunch of ammunition. You know, coming out of the pandemic, ammunition was kind of hard to get, so I was having trouble getting the same ammo consistently. So I was in a position where I was just buying what I could, and then now that I can be a little bit more choosy, found myself with a bunch of orphan boxes of ammunition. And I was explaining to my wife that although some bullets are similar, they're not all the same, and I really wanted to understand which one would be best for me, for the guns that I'm running, so I could just buy one ammunition and leave it at that. We're talking about my 30-30 right here in particular. I had been shooting for quite a while these LEVERevolution. They are 160 grain FTX. They are the ones with the pointy tip, the monoflex, so that they can be loaded into a tubular magazine without fear of causing an explosion. And also the sell here is that the Spitzer, the pointy bullets have a significantly higher BC than the kind of rounded bullets that have historically been associated with the 30-30. So this was my preferred ammunition for a while, but I found that I wasn't as accurate as I thought I should be with it. Then I was in a real pinch and I had to buy a couple boxes, so I also have these 170 grain bullets lying around. Winchester Super X 170 grain bullets, 2200 FPS out of the muzzle and 2400 on the 160s. And I recently thought that maybe the fact that these bullets are on the heavier side for 30-30 bullets was affecting my accuracy. So I wondered what would happen if I took it down a notch. I was looking for LEVERevolution 140s, but I don't know if they discontinued them or if I just can't find them. So I ended up buying these 150s from Nosler. They have the ballistic tip. They also make a silver tip. This isn't quite as snub nose, but it is not as pointy as the other ones. I have read that sometimes this, depending on shot placement, because it creates a pretty big wound channel, might ruin some of your meat. And this is less speedy out of the barrel at 2100 FPS. So I took him out to the range. I did all the shooting from the lead sled, 100 yards. I let the barrel cool for 2 minutes in between every shot, and then for right about 10 minutes in between changing ammunition, changing strings to try to equalize some of the variables. And here's what we found. The first group, dead center, LEVERevolution right there. This is the round that I thought the scope was zeroed at, and I thought this was the proper shot. I have this thing at about 1.5 inches high at 100. And you look, this is a pretty open group here, right? I then shot the Noslers, and this is the tightest group I've ever shot with that 30-30. I've got 2 bullet holes right on top of each other, and one is maybe a 3/16 or a 1/4 inch away. That boded very well for the Noslers from the jump. I then fired off a string of the 170s. They were right here. So opened up more than the Noslers, but not as much as that initial LEVERevolution. And then maybe the barrel was just getting warmed up or optimum temperature, because here was the next string of LEVERevolutions. They were what I would normally expect that I should be getting out of that 30-30. But at that point I kind of thought, you know what, I think the Nosler wins the day. And the other part, this is a small sample I know, but the other thing about those Noslers is that they're like 20 bucks a box cheaper than those LEVERevolutions. So you're paying a little bit for maybe the gimmick, you know what I mean? So I looked at that first chart and I decided I wanted these Nosler shots to be up here. So I made an adjustment to the scope and then shot again. So here was the adjustment I made to the scope initially. Then I go down 10 clicks and I send 2 more downrange, and again, not as good as that original group, but they are right on top of each other at 1.5 inches high. That to me is enough proof that if I could save 20 bucks a box, I'm making the switch to the Noslers. I don't know why that first LEVERevolution group was so opened up. Maybe it was because it was early in the day and I wasn't quite on yet. It could be, but when I saw that first set of 3 Noslers go downrange and they were right on top of each other, it just felt like that's the ammunition that the gun preferred. So if you're evaluating some ammunition, maybe I can save you a few bucks and at least eliminate 1 out of 3 possibilities. Ammunition's expensive and we want to be as efficient as we can with it. Those Noslers at 1.5 inches high, it's like 137 yard zero, which means I am maximum point blank range good out to 175 yards, and I will never use that lever gun farther than that. If I'm 1.5 inches high with the LEVERevolution based on the advertised performance, that means I should be good out to 200. I don't know that that extra 25 yards is ever going to make or break me. I wouldn't probably take any shot unless it was like a predator or a varmint out that far with that gun anyway. I have other guns for that. So looks like Nosler 150 grain ballistic tip wins the day. This was shot through a Henry 30-30 with the side gate. The other patterns were just a little bit wider, and I was kind of concerned about the inconsistency with that LEVERevolution. Hope this helps. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep this content coming. Thanks, guys. Bye.